Shalom, family. It's good to see everybody here. I know there's so many things going on out here, but when I saw this particular story, I wanted to address it. Now, I'm just going to tell you straight up, I have never, ever been a big fan of DJ Vlad. I have not been on his channel very many times. And, there were stories here and there that I heard. Um, I saw clippings of the way he was coming at Taraji Henson when she was talking about, how she had to struggle to even get a decent pay. And he pretty much said she didn't deserve any better pay, and I'm like, who the hell are you to say that to somebody? And, he was highly critical of the minister Louis Farrakhan too. The bottom line is I just did not like he's like Miss Pearly things. The only way they get notoriety is to have us around. Without us around, they literally have nothing. Their channel is nothing, you know? And I don't know. I just didn't care for him. I'm glad people are finally getting away from him. I was hearing that he's not getting the views he once got, and he was all upset over Shannon Sharp getting Cat Williams and doing that interview, and he wanted to know how much Shannon Sharp was getting. First of all, what you pocket watching him for? Why, he's getting the views that you never can get, you know? And besides, I think Shannon Sharp is getting even bigger stars than Vlad could ever get over on his channel. Jealousy and envy, those are terrible things, y'all. Just terrible things. So, anyway, there was an issue that came up on X, and the conversation was, from what I understand, about hip hop. And you know how it is. We can never talk among each other because there's always somebody like Vlad that wants to get in the middle of all of our conversations. You know how it goes down, right? They would die before they have to leave us alone. So, anyway, let's get into what happened. Let's get into it. I hope everybody can see my screen. Please give me a one if you can see the screen. So, this is a Princeton professor, and she was partaking in a conversation about hip hop. And then, Vlad wanted to chime in, and she pretty much dismissed him, and he got all upset. Mm-mm-mm. Look at the irony, y'all. Every time they do something to us, I want y'all to take notice. It's always a short period of time before it happens to one of them. Now, just think about all the stuff going on with Beyonce, how the country music world, well, no, let's be real, the white country music world don't want her. They are refusing to play her songs. They don't want her around, but it's music that her forefathers came up with, and they have been gatekeepering it to the point where they don't want black people involved in it. Now, this woman was involved in a conversation with other black people, and Vlad tried to weigh in, and she pretty much dismissed him. You know, it never takes long for karma to show up on their doorstep, y'all. It never, ever takes a long time. Okay, never. So here we go. So they said Vlad became a full Karen and threatened to have a Princeton professor fired from her job for telling him to butt out of a hip hop thread because he's white. Now, look at Beyonce. Stay out of the country music. She's black. It doesn't matter. She's Creole. She's black to them. Stay out of here. We don't want you. You're a grifter. Don't come over here. Right. And now he's getting hoisted out because he's white. But look at how bad he took it, right? When you tell them to mind their own business, look how bad they take it. So, he learned that he's not as beloved in the rap community after all. He went on a back and forth with a Princeton professor on Black Twitter calling for his cancellation. She called for his cancellation. Hell, I call for his cancellation. I join her. So, anyway, it began on Saturday, May 4th, when Kendrick Lamar dropped Not Like Us. The latest, yeah, he's going back and forth with Drake. Y'all know that, right? And I've been watching all that stuff that was going on. So, he dropped that and they're going back and forth. And unfortunately, Drake attempted to drop a diss track and it kind of flopped. It really was kind of corny there, Drake. While most listeners were impressed by the Bay Area influence of the DJ Mustard producer beat. And so, the conversation drew attention out there. And of course, DJ Vlad wanted to chime in on this thing too. Kendrick's Not Like Us needed a better mix. This is what Vlad was saying. It takes away from the song, he tweeted. Well, nobody cares what you think is a better mix. Did anybody ask? Seriously. So Morgan Jenkins, whose X profile listed her as a faculty member at Princeton University Lewis Center for the Arts Creative Writing Program, responded to Vlad's tweet and she wrote, "You are white. This is a black folk affair." Mm-mm-mm. You know he couldn't take that, right? He couldn't take that. He couldn't join this all black conversation going on Black Twitter. He could not handle that. He couldn't be part of that conversation. So he turned into Karen out there. Yes, he did. He sure knew how to turn on that whiteness at a drop of a hat, y'all. In response from Jenkins, set off the DJ, who then threatened to get her fired from her job. "I want to go talk to the manager. I need to see the manager." Okay, DJ. Oh man, y'all, you see how these folks react when we tell them to mind their own business? Do y'all see how they react? I think it's funny. Yes, he went full Karen. He said, "Wait, so a professor at Princeton is telling me that a white person shouldn't be allowed to voice their opinion about hip hop? Well, I guess if Beyonce can't sing country, you shouldn't be able to chime in on hip hop. How about that, DJ Vlad?" If she can't sing country and y'all upset about that and won't even play or listen to the music, then why should you just willy-nilly come up and chime in on our conversations? A conversation you were never invited in. You tried to invite yourself in that conversation. Now, what I mean? And besides, she's on X. She's not on her job, telling this to students in a classroom. She's out on Twitter on her own time interacting. That's all she's doing. So then he goes on and says, "Oh, so a professor at Princeton is telling me a white person shouldn't be allowed to voice their opinion about hip hop." Well, no, especially if you weren't part of the conversation. Vlad stated before asking, "Is that how you interact with your students?" No, because she's not at work. We know how to conduct ourselves on the job, and we also know how to chill out and enjoy our time off the job. There is a difference. She was not in a Princeton classroom, she was on X. Morgan didn't back down. She went on to say to DJ Vlad, "What I'm saying is that you put your opinion in a discussion that's not needed. The conversation is and should center Black people, not you. You just go, girl." So she's telling him, "You're trying to walk up and make everything about you when the conversation is about Black people." I can 100% relate to her and what she just said. How many times have any of you witnessed that? You could be on a subject matter talking about something, and they will come up out of nowhere and make every damn thing about them. How many times have I have witnessed it? Way too many times in my lifetime. How many of you have seen this? They can't help themselves. They can't help themselves. This is what they do. He need to get rid of this Karen thing he got going on. See, there's Karen in him too. So DJ Vlad doubled down, tweeting, "Good luck being a professor at Princeton again. I doubt the university support their faculty telling non-black students to shut the F up." Well, first of all, Vlad, you're not a student. You're not this woman's student. The hell are you talking about? They are having a conversation among each other, and you walked up, tried to get in the conversation, and act as if your opinion trumps everybody else. Y'all got that bad for real. Y'all got that problem real bad. So, anyway, this is what he said. You're telling your non-black students to shut the F up about anything hip hop related because of their skin color. While DJ Vlad suggests that Morgan Jenkins shut him out of the Kendrick Lamar versus Drake conversation because he is white and that she is prejudiced, Morgan, on the other hand, believes that he only singled her out because she is a black woman and was trying to weaponize her words in effort to get her fired from her Ivy League job. Well, that's exactly what he's doing. He feels he can pick the phone up, blab about what happened on X, and she should automatically be terminated. And you ever notice whenever they get mad at one of us and try to get us fired, it's always on some unfounded bunch of mess, or it's a bunch of nothing that they're trying to make a big deal out of. Okay, you couldn't get in on the conversation. Why not just move on? Why not just move on? You see this group of people interacting with each other. Obviously, they were having a good time talking among each other until you came to try to inject yourself where you really didn't belong. You know, I know y'all might find this hard to believe, but you don't belong in every conversation that Black men and women have. I know you might find that hard to believe, but it's true. Y'all do not belong in every conversation that we have. Plain and simple. I know many of you feel you do. I have the right to say this, and I have the right to say that. And we have the right to talk to each other and no one else. We have that right. We have the right to talk to each other and no one else if that's what we feel like doing. They can't handle it, y'all. They can't handle it. So I find it funny that you specifically chose to respond to me, belittle my academic background, and threaten my job when others responded to you much harsher. Wow. Very interesting. So Morgan goes on to say, and telling, after clarifying that she never told him to shut the F up about anything hip hop related due to the color of his skin. Right. The former DJ warned her not to change her words up now, promising, "I'll be reaching out to Princeton about this Monday." To which Morgan promptly let him know that she had completed both her semester and contract at the school. "But thanks for trying to bully me out of a job for centering Black people because you got in your feelings." Very retaliatory. Nice tactic, she wrote. So if the school year is over and her contract is over, then what job is she going to lose? That's pretty much what she's saying. My contract is up and the semester is over. So who's going to fire me? You idiot. Mm, mm, mm. Mm, mm, mm. This dude is a trip. So she says, yes, he's my uncle. So wait a minute. So Rodney Jenkins. She's related to Rodney Jenkins. Okay. So Morgan, are you related to Rodney Jenkins, also known as Darkchild, the Eagle Eye ex user? I'm culturally competent to know who he is. Vlad might not know. Vlad, you know who Rodney Jenkins is? Do your research. Yes, he's my uncle, Morgan said. So DJ Vlad trying to intimidate a black professor at Princeton is funny. But what's hilarious is that she's Darkchild's niece. LOL, one ex user wrote. Things became silent on DJ Vlad's end once Morgan affiliate became public, but not before the rest of Black Twitter went in on him and they defended her. They defended her. I guess DJ Vlad don't know what time of the year this is. In May, most college and universities conclude for the year until the next semester comes up in usually August, September. But they're pretty much done at the colleges and universities now. Mm-mm-mm. You get accused of being a white person that needs to stay out of black business. And the first thing you do is check notes, threaten to call the manager. Yeah, that's a Karen, said one ex user. I mean, he was getting dragged out there. One person who can always speak up for hip hop is a rapper and Flip Mode Squad member, Rod Digger, who also rushed to Morgan's defense. Damn, you called the principal on her for battle rap. Shit talking. Big yikes. Not reading the room, man. She tweeted. Ra, think about it this way, Vlad retort. If a black music blogger made a comment about Taylor Swift's song not having a good mix, and then a Harvard professor responded to him and said, "You are not black. This is a white folk affair." Oh, you are black. This is a white folk affair. So I guess he's trying to flip it around. You would be okay with this professor teaching kids at a top university, not me. First of all, by the time they're in that university, they're adults, not kids. Nice try, Vlad. If they're in Princeton, that means they completed high school, they're over 18, and they're attending school at Princeton. That's not a child. In American standards, that's an adult. Okay? So this is his comeback. So he said, "You just described America. That is literally what they are screaming to Beyonce, right? Didn't I bring that up? Didn't I bring it up?" So this person did too. This is what, they're screaming to Beyonce right now. And she's keeping it music, as so many of your white hip hop counterparts are at the moment. That's right. They've been taking digs nonstop at Beyonce over country music. And I'm glad somebody other than myself brought that up. Now he wants to be in the middle of this hip hop conversation and they won't let him do it. So he's outdone. Digga Digga left him with words of wisdom, particularly as a white person in hip hop. She told him regarding Morgan's message, if you believe you have earned your place, sticks and stones, man. And journalist Barami Jones also weighed in. And let me be clear for me regarding Vlad. Anyone hearing a record in this battle talk about things the mix not like us, well, maybe like you, if not like me. F that. So, in other words, he's telling them if you don't like the mix, nobody gives a crap that you don't like the mix. They weren't talking about the mix, they were talking about the actual battle that's going on between Kendrick and Drake. Nobody was talking about the mix, the beat, the sound of it. Nobody was even talking about that. So he came in there, weighed in on something nobody was talking about. And you know how it is. We could be talking among each other, and then they come and weigh in on a topic that nobody's talking about, almost like they're trying to take you away from the conversation and completely focus on them. No, no, everybody don't want to do that. No, they don't have to stop talking about the actual battle going on between these two rappers just to entertain you over the mix. Nobody had to do that, Vlad. And I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad they stayed on their train of thought and not let you veer them away from everything. And okay, so this journalist went on pointing out that the mix of the song is the last thing any true hip hop lover cares about during a battle. I understand and respect your point, but at the end of the day, Kendrick's audio is being heard by tens of millions of people. A rough mix is the equivalent of blurry video. Meanwhile, Drake is going all out on production and mixing level, Vlad responded. Bomani reminded Vlad that this is a diss track and far deeper than that. All right, so he called Drake a slave runner, and you calling Kendrick out for two tracking? Nah, nah, man. Proving once again, Vlad was deeply out of touch. So instead of joining the conversation and staying on track over the battle, which they were talking about, he's sitting there talking about the mix, and nobody cared about that. People are talking about the lyrics and how Kendrick came back at Drake, and and putting the pedophile sign on his mansion and all that stuff. That's what people are talking about. The mix, ain't nobody thinking about no mix. So he also went full Karen and replied, an observer of the conversation, even comedian Kev on stage, he mocked Vlad's critique, but did not get personally attacked the way Morgan was. So it seems like a lot of people were coming at Vlad, but the only one he wanted to go on full attack with was Morgan, who was the professor at Princeton. He seemed to ignore everybody else's attack on him. Just the black woman he wanted to focus on. However, she warned him he might be next. You better take this down before the hall monitor sends you to the principal's office. That's what Morgan Jenkins wrote. So, anyway, other professors stood with Morgan as well, telling Vlad he is welcome to call their schools. Yeah, he's welcome to call because all the schools are out, y'all. All the schools are out. The colleges are done. So hell no, they don't care that Vlad's going to pick up the phone and call. This is May. Anybody that's been to college know when May comes, it's pretty much over. So they're saying not only can you call Princeton on Morgan Jenkins, and they say feel free to call on any of the professors that were also on X at that time. Yeah, feel free to call on all of us. We don't care. uh, uh, uh. Vlad said the reason why he responded to Morgan's post was because he saw that she was a real person and not a bot hiding behind a fabricated identity. The college English teacher said that it was much more than that, implying his remarks were rooted in a form of misogyny. Wow. Boy, he really got his butt kicked out there on X. She tweeted, he also didn't think that anyone would defend me because I am a Black woman. So thank you to everyone who did. I know why he responded to me, and it's not because his other critics were bots. Yeah, nobody out there that was responding to him was a bot. Man, get out of here with that. So if that is what Vlad believes, he was wrong. Darkchild has not weighed in on his niece and DJ Vlad spat. Boy, I would imagine in the next coming days he will weigh in and give his opinion to Vlad. Wow. Wow. It sounds to me that Vlad was just butt sore that nobody paid attention to him. He wanted attention and he just couldn't get it out there. Oh, well. Yeah, well, I mean, he's still got people going over there. I wish people wouldn't go over there from our community. I really look, we got a lot of Black channels that do entertainment. I mean, come on. This is the only person you can go to. It never made sense to me. Yeah, well, I guess he was out there trying to steal the show and usurp the conversation, and they just wouldn't let him do it. So I guess he got butt sore over that and gonna call Princeton and everybody else. So, and she just, she just seemed unconcerned about the whole thing. And I'm glad she was. He pays them. Yeah, but still, they don't have to go there. They don't have to go there. Mhm. Well, it just looks to me like he was butt sore that he could not dominate a conversation that these Black folks were on. And he wanted attention and he just couldn't snatch the attention away. So he's all upset. Oh, well, he'll get over it. He'll get over it for real. Mm-mm-mm. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude, but I think what happened to him was hilarious. I don't see nothing wrong with what happened to him. Mm-mm-mm. Well, I hope they don't go over there. I hope nobody else goes over there, but I know that's unrealistic. There's always going to be people that go over there to Vlad's channel. I mean, let's be real. I wish it wasn't like that, but I know it will be. So, y'all, thank you for being here. And I do see I got one donation here. Let me just shout this per John L. Thank you so much for the super chat. If culture vulture and opportunist Karen was a person, you got that right. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you. So everybody, be on the lookout for my videos, and we'll be coming back together again tomorrow for another one. And my members, I will be putting this coming Friday's live stream up tomorrow. All right. So y'all be on the lookout for that, my channel members and my patrons. Shalom, family.